You put my dear one down this instant. Be smart. You know you can't outrun me. You certainly can't beat me in a fight. Do you even know why your new so-called king is having you do this? Did he tell you that it's all for petty revenge? You don't need to get yourself killed over something idiotic. Good. Now leave. Immediately. You can tell your master whatever you want, but make sure he understands that any action he takes against me is a waste of time. I gave him power. The power he has. He can't hope to use it against me. Dear one, are you alright? Come here. Shh. Don't worry. You're safe. Nothing could have happened to you. In the worst case scenario, there would have been a short case, and then I would have brought you right back here. You can't be hurt anymore by anyone, so long as you're mine. Still, I'm sorry I wasn't already by your side. I'm sure it must have been scary, being manhandled by something more menacing. I was attending to something. I should have been more cautious. It's chilly in here, isn't it? Ah, it's thanks to that window. Come with me. We'll go to my room to talk. Ah, very perceptive of you, dear one. You're correct. It was my former client, now the king of the Northern Elflands, who sent the kidnapper after you. Well, just as I feared, he saw you as a target to get back at me. I'm sure he would have held you ransom to convince me to do something to solidify his rule. Come inside. I have the fireplace going, so it's nice and warm in here. More importantly, it's completely safe. My window looks out into the courtyard, so it wouldn't be so simple for someone to get in like yours. I should have moved you in here as soon as I heard about the attack, but I went to survey his forces first. Yes, that's right. He's brought a small army to our city. I think it was mostly for a distraction while he sent the kidnappers ahead. A smarter move than I would have given him credit for, but still so transparent. I had to deal with the rest of the would-be abductors on the way here. Say, why don't I change into my night clothes and we can cuddle together in bed while we talk things over? Oh, look at you blush. Relax, I won't do anything untoward. I can't just... Oh. I can just tell you're shaken, and I want to do what I can to make you feel safe and comfortable, and don't worry, I do have a privacy screen to change behind. Just a moment. What's that, dear? Oh, the army? No, nothing to worry about. We vampires built this city expecting that people would someday try to come in and wipe us out. The outer wall is probably the sturdiest ever devised. They don't have a chance of breaching it, and the window for sneaking in amid the confusion has passed. Not to mention, well, the city is packed to the brim with the most powerful vampires in the world. We'll let them play at their siege for now, but we can drive them off easily whenever we choose. Ah, much better. I love how my dresses make me look. But, I can't stand how restrictive they are. I know, I call my pajamas dresses, just live with it. Now come here and let me put my arms around you. You're so warm. I'm sorry that I can't provide much warmth myself, but I hope you're still comfortable. Now, where were we? Ah, about the king. Well, rest assured that his attack will fail spectacularly. I'll give the elves credit, they are splendid warriors. They're agile, graceful, and have superb eyesight. However, none of that will do them much good at night. We picked this location for our city because of how cloudy it is, so they won't even have moonlight to light their way. Whenever we choose, we can swoop in and drive them off. Fighting a vampire is difficult enough as it is. Without being able to properly see us, it will be completely impossible. They'll likely retreat without so much as a drop of blood spilt, regardless of what the fool king orders. That's how we prefer to do things. We have bad enough reputation as it is, simply being what we are. We don't need to worsen things by killing when we don't need to. I don't even need to kill that king, even though now is a prime opportunity. Given that his very first act was to lead an impressively poorly managed military action against an overwhelmingly powerful enemy for the sake of a personal vendetta, I doubt he'll remain in power for long. But let's not talk about him anymore. He's entirely unimportant in the end. You, on the other hand, make for a far more interesting subject of conversation. Oh, poor thing, your heart is still beating so fast. Are you still frightened? You don't have to worry about that with me around, you know. Nah, well then something else must be making your heart thump so furiously. Is it because you're lying here in my arms? You're so sweet. It warms my heart that you react that way to me. When I was turned, I spent years being hunted and called a monster. It was awful, and for a while I thought they were right. I hated myself, thought I was some ugly, cruel, horrible beast. Having my dear ones has helped me feel more human, but even among all of them, you stand out in particular. Naturally, it's hard to accept that they have no choice but to stay with me, even if it's better than the alternative. I always manage to win over my dear ones, but some will always see me as simply the lesser of two evils. To many more, I'm an employer who has earned their respect. A select few truly love me, either as a romantic interest or a fatherly figure. But you alone appear to absolutely adore me. The look in your eyes when I walk into the room melts my heart every single time, as though you think I'm the most amazing person you've ever met. Oh, come now, you sweet thing. There's no point in hiding your feelings. I have centuries of experience learning to read a face. And anyways, it's nothing to be embarrassed about. And you stir up emotions in myself as well, ones I thought I'd forgotten long ago. It's been a long, long time since I've been interested in someone romantically. I tried relationships with humans a few times, but it's incredibly difficult. Naturally, the difference in lifespan is part of it. It's heart-wrenching to fall in love with someone who you know will die relatively quickly, and I couldn't bear to turn them into a vampire knowing how difficult it's been for me. But the difference is the length of life I've already lived is a problem. My wealth of knowledge is useful, but in the past my partners have come to resent how much more experienced and far-seeing I am than them. Sort of like how humans with different levels of maturity can struggle to get along. Funnily enough, the same factor makes relationships with vampires difficult as well, but for different reasons. When two people have both lived so long, they can easily find that they have strongly opposed opinions on many subjects. But you seem very different from any of the people I've loved before. You don't seem to be intimidated by my power and wisdom. Rather, you act as though you're in awe of it. It makes me think that perhaps we could have something that works. Now, I want to be clear on a few things. First, this is not an order. I keep you here as my dear one for the sake of my own existence, but I won't force you to enter a relationship with me. Second, I'm not completely sure what sort of relationship this could become. It's a bizarre situation, to say the least, so I doubt we could be an ordinary couple. But if you would like to try, then I would love to see where we go. That was quick. Are you sure, dear? You can think it over if you want. You don't need to leap into this. Oh, my wonderful dear one, you've made me so happy. No, wait, you're no longer simply one of my dear ones, are you? No, what should I call you? No point in overthinking it. I'm sure my love will do for now. What do you think? Very well then. Thank you for using your wonderful self to make me fall in love with you. I'm going to do everything in my considerable power to make you happy, and I only ask that you do the same for me.